We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Jake Peavy and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Derek Lowe and Matty Acta's first place Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game set. In the opener last night, Jose Quintero, was just fantastic. He came out, coming up from Birmingham, went 6 innings, and this is the second time he's pitched against Cleveland, and he has just been superb both times. We won that ball game 9-3, also 3 home runs in it. So the Sox now just 2.5 games back of the Tribe, and Jake Peavy this afternoon.
Jake Peavy's 5-1 this year. His ERA is spectacular. Not as good as Derek Lowe's, but just about as good as anybody in the game. And Jake has been terrific all year long. In fact, when he faced Cleveland last time, the Indians said they swung at too many pitches out of the zone. A testament to Jake because he was around the strike zone with everything. Derek Lowe goes to the mound for the Indians. He's 6-2. His ERA a touch better than Jake Peavy's. Lowe's throwing the ball unbelievably well. They made a deal where Atlanta picked up 2/3 of his salary, so for the Indians, this was a bargain, and the guy has emerged as the ace of their staff. We've taken 6 of 10 from the Indians. Cabrera not in the lineup, Santana not in the lineup, Hafner not in the lineup. It's a good day to catch him.
Well, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Today's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station. Beautiful day for baseball at the ballpark. It's 74 degrees, and this is how Manny Acta is going to line up his first place Cleveland Indians. Chu leading off, and then Brantley hitting second with Kipnis, Lopez, Kochman at first, Damon, Hanahan, Diaz, and Lou Marson behind the plate and hitting ninth. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Jake. Viciedo, Diaza, and Rios in the outfield. Hudson, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko in the infield. A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate. And Jake Peavy on the hill looking for win number 6, and this is 10th start. Bonan's hitting a paltry 204. He's been brilliant with 11 walks, 55 strikeouts, a whip of .91. Pretty much unbelievable at this stage of the season. The umpires for the game today. Ted Barrett behind the plate. Marvin Hudson is at first. Tim McClellan, the crew chief, is at second. And Brian Runge is at third base. It is a bit of a windy day, although not near as windy as it was for that one game in the Minnesota series. But wind will definitely be a factor. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. Jake is ready to go, as are we. And I turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here with WGN Sports. So happy you could join us for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Shin-Soo Choo will lead it off for the Tribe against our 30-year-old right-hander, Jake Peavy. Choo comes in hitting at 276, 3 homers. He's driven in 16, and he has hit Peavy well as he looks at first pitch. And that's ball 1. In fact, he is 7 for 16 lifetime off the Jake Meister with a homer. Outfield slightly to the left. And a count 1-1. Choo was 2 for 3 in that game last night. Couple of doubles and a couple of runs scored.
Well, right now, Choo is hitting just about everybody in baseball very well. His batting average has risen by 55 points.
Souvenir left side. A beautiful day here in the city. Beautiful.
That's what he's done since being moved into the leadoff spot. Kind of a surprising move by Manny Acta, but it certainly has paid dividends with him hitting .372.
Well, we talked about that same thing. Sometimes you make an out-of-the-box move like that. As we mentioned, Tony La Russa doing that back in 1983 with Carlton Fisk, putting him in the 2-hole, and everything just took off from there.
Well, Choo was a run producer, and this lineup is not conducive to having him hit in the middle, so he figured instead of hitting at the bottom part of the lineup, hit him at the top, and he sees more fastballs.
That's outside. Full count, and here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Nice crowd for a Robin Ventura bobblehead day. That ball hit deep into left center field, but we got a man there. Don't watch out, Tank. When he calls for it, put the brakes on. 1 out.
Brantley was not in the game last night, just getting a day off. He's one of the healthier of the Indians, and he will occasionally bunt. With that in mind, Hudson in at third.
Brantley takes ball 1, comes in at 269, no homers, 14 knocked in. He is 1 for 12 lifetime off Jake. And this is the 11th meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 10, Sox have won 6.
Both their Indians and our Sox have been the hottest teams in the AL Central, winning 7 of their last 10. And a 2.5 game lead by the Tribesmen.
He falls behind 3-0. Brantley 7 for 11 in stolen bases. Come back and get him, Jake.
This Indian team has swiped 35. They've been caught 12 times, so they run a lot.
There's one. Brantley last year hit 266, 7 homers, and drove in 46. And a full count.
Depending on how Jake feels, and we don't know yet about his feeling or the touch of the baseball, but he likes to throw a lot of 3-2 straight changes about 83 miles an hour. He threw a fastball to Chu in this situation.
And that's popped up into left. Tank will make the call. Has the ball. 2 down. And as we speak, the game delayed in the bottom of the 6th at Target Field in Minneapolis, where the Tigers lead the Twins 6-3.
Well, best thing that could happen to Minnesota as far as at first and third is it's delayed long enough to get Scherzer out of there and get into that middle relief for the Tigers, which is a little sketchy.
So here's Kipnis. Takes first pitch strike. Jason hitting at 267, 6 homers, 24 driven in. He was 2 for 3 last evening. Breaking ball.
There you see how it lines up. Kansas City, Minnesota way back. Cleveland on top, 3 up in the loss column.
There's a strike and the count 1-2.
And the biggest difference for the Indians, when you look at the numbers, our numbers a little bit better in just about every category, pitching and hitting. But the difference is they've played a little better in the Central than we have.
And the difference is their 7th, 8th, and 9th innings have been better protected, really. As good as our bullpen has been, they have had about as good as it gets so far with Smith, Pestano, and Perez. He just ate him up right there. Watch those thumbnails. Get a new bat. And we talked about out of the box. The last 3 games, the Tampa Bay Rays have used Carlos Pena in the leadoff spot.
Tried to bring the hands in, still cracked the bat. Couldn't get much on it.
And that's where we'll be headed after tomorrow's game, down to St. Pete. We'll take on Joe Madden's Rays.
Tried the backdoor cutter. And he missed with it, so he's at all 3 hitters at 3 and 2 here in the first inning. That's something he would like to duplicate.
And a payoff. Had him out in front. He gone. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Jake. After a half inning of play, it's their guys nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
It's going to be Diaz, Beckham, Dunn, Konerko, Rios, Pierzynski, Viciedo, Ramirez, and Hudson. In the outfield, Damon, Brantley, and Chu left to right. Hanahan, Diaz, Kipnis, and Kochman. Lou Marson behind the plate, and Derek Lowe. He of the 6-2 Lows on the hill.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as the 6'6 right-hander. First pitch strike to Alejandro Diaz. Alejandro hitting at 288, 4 homers. He's driven in 19. Lowe, as I mentioned, 6'6", 230 pounds. And he has been a good one. He is 172 up and 148 down.
He lives and dies with the sinker. That one he took a little something off, moved even more. But left to his own devices, that's about all he would throw if it's working for him, because most everybody hits the top of the baseball and beats it into the dirt.
Well, his best year with Boston back in 02, he was 21-8.
It's pretty good. And he's also closed.
In that ballpark, that's very good. Lines that one for a souvenir left side.
A couple of starts ago at Minnesota, he threw a shutout. In that shutout, he threw 127 pitches, 121 of which were sinkers. And that's the first shutout he threw in 7 years.
Got him.
We'll take a look at our Xfinity pitch tracks. You see the tail on that ball. It's one of the things Greg Maddux did so very well, throwing it right at the hands of the left-hand hitter and watching it tail back over the inside corner. The hitter gives up on it, and that ball had the plate.
A lot of guys have done that in their careers. Hall of Famer Whitey Ford, way back when of the Yankees, that was his best pitch, especially to strong right-handed hitters.
We've always said make the sinker ball or get the ball up. How do you do that with Lowe if he continually keeps the ball down?
Well, you've got to. As there's a base hit, you got to take the approach just like Gordon Beckham did. Right-hand hitters have to try to hit him to right field or up the middle, and you either make an adjustment forward in the box or back in the box. One of the two, whichever one is your choice.
Well, that ball was out away, and Gordon didn't try to pull it, didn't try to take it up the middle, just went right with it. And despite the fact that batting average is at 204, we've seen signs from Gordon for the last probably 2 weeks that he's starting to hit the ball hard, and we're going to see some improvement in that batting average.
No question about it. He's changing his approach, and he's been doing it by watching Paul Konerko, as Adam can't get it. Adam, a good low ball hitter, but he has had a tough time against Lowe. He's 6 for 36, and of the 6 hits, all of them have stayed in the park. Yeah, but you've got to make an adjustment off him. Now, Jenmar Gomez last night, good-looking young right-hander. If you stand in the same place against Lowe as you did off Jenmar Gomez, if you're a right-handed hitter, you're not taking the best of it. You're giving yourself the worst of it.
Well, you just as soon move up against a guy like Lowe.
Well, you take former Sox southpaw Tommy John. I believe Tommy won 283 games in his career, and if you didn't make him get the ball up, you got beat. If you made him get the ball up, because he probably threw as few strikes as does Derek Lowe. Derek Lowe probably throws the fewest strikes of anybody in American League.
Right now he does, and when you take a look at it, I mean, they don't want to throw strikes. If you're going to swing at pitches, you're not going to see a strike all day long. If you're going to take some pitches, eventually then he has to come to you. But Lowe, again, a lot like Glavine, a lot like Maddux, they'll stay out of the strike zone as long as you allow them to.
And there's a base hit. But Gordon's going to make the turn. As Brantley will get it in, so done. First and thirds. And here comes Paulie.
One of the things we've always said about sinker ballers, if you are going to get to them early in the game before the ball has as much late sink as it will later on in the game. And there's been a couple of line drives hit. Normally you don't see that against Derek Lowe. So let's see if we can break on top early and allow Jake to let it hold up.
Paulie coming in, leading the league at 381. 10 homers, 27 knocked in. He's also on an 11-game hitting streak. He was 1 for 4 last night. And he, like so many, has had a tough time against Lowe. He's faced him 19 times, has 3 hits, 2 of which stayed in the park.
Johnny Damon awfully deep in left field. And they're very deep all the way around.
You got to make him get it up. There's only been 2 home runs hit off Derek this year in 59 innings. And there's a base hit right down the line. So Gordon will score. Adam will make a big turn at second, go pull it up, go back in, and the Sox lead it 1-0. 12-game hitting streak for Paulie. What new?
RBI number 28. And Hanahan had no chance. That ball was up. In fact, it was up around thigh high, which is high for Lowe. And you can see Hanahan well off the line. He had no chance for this one, and he's a good defensive third baseman. So a very promising start with a 1-0 lead.
Don't stop now, boys, as here is Alex. Alex 0 for 10 lifetime off Lowe. But if you try to pull Derek, you're going right into his web. You got to try to hit him in the right as a right-handed hitter, or back through the middle. Outfield straight up, spread out. And the count evens at 1. Attaboy. And you certainly have to lay off that one.
Lowe started his professional career way back in 1991. That was in the Mariner organization.
That ball hit hard. Stretch! Stretch! Bailey goes back at the wall, jumps, and makes the catch. Mercy! What a timing play, taking a 3-run homer away from Rios. My goodness. Terrific play by Brantley.
Again, he got the sinker up. Rios hits the daylights out of it, and Brantley times it perfectly. You see him drifting. He goes up at the last minute. And unlike so many catches that are made in the ballpark, that ball was made out of the ballpark. What a catch by Michael Brantley.
That's one of the best catches we have seen all year. Michael, that's a hell of a play, my man. As much as we hate to say it.
Well, you give Jake a 4-run lead the way he's pitching, and he's going to be real tough to catch.
Well,
as it is, it's a 1-run lead.
Catches like that, I mean, it just turns everything around. AJ hitting at 309, 8 homers and 31 knocked in. AJ is 3 for 9 lifetime off Lowe.
Derek Lowe, back in the year 2000 with the Boston Red Sox, in 74 games, he saved 42, and he led the American League in saves. Give you an idea how versatile he's been during the course of his career. And Alex, that was just highway robbery.
There's a shot fair right down into the corner. It's playable, so Adam will score. Paulie's held at third, and the Sox lead it 2-0. Mercy. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI number 32 for AJ, and again, Lowe gets the ball up. It's right down the middle, and he rifles it by Kochman. Even though Kochman is deep and toward the line, this ball is just hit like a bullet, gets hung up in the corner. This could have been a huge inning against Derek Lowe. As it is, it's still a couple of run lead. Now they turned over to Jake to hold it.
First pitch strike to Tank. Tank hitting at .252, 9 homers and 18 knocked in. He was 2 for 3 last night with a long home run to right center. And there's a base hit. AJ's being waved around. Konerko scores, Pierzynski scores, and it is 4-0. Good God.
RBI's 19 and 20 for Viciedo, who is starting to get red hot. Nobody's going to really care with Tank what his batting average is. They're going to care how many he drives in, how many he hits out of the ballpark, and when those hits come, because he is going to be a prolific run producer before it's over.
Well, we've been saying it all spring that he is a notorious late starter. He's got a definitive track record.
Well, he even said, I came from Cuba. I like to play when it's warm. It's getting warmer, and he's getting real hot.
Alexei. Alexei at .202, a homer and 18 knocked in. Alexei, for that average, has knocked in some runs, and he again is a late starter. Lays off that breaking ball, and the count 1-2.
Good time to be playing the Indians. Santana on the 7-day concussion list, so he won't be around. There's no way that Hafner's going to be here.
And that ball hit into right center field, Brantley. But a big crooked number goes up on that board, a 4 spot, and after 1 it is 4-0 White Sox. First pitch, fastball strike to Lopez, leading off here in the top of the second. Sox with 4 runs in the bottom of the first. That's foul right side, and that's going to be a souvenir.
Big first inning for the Sox, big for Jake, because he went 3-2 on every one of the Indians' hitters in the first inning. Now he's got a 4-run cushion. He can afford to go right at these guys. A little less thunder in their lineup today, with Asdrubal Cabrera also out.
Well, it's like we say, it's not who you play, it's when you play them.
And they lost 2 last night. They lost the game. They lost a game in the standings. They lost a game to Detroit. But more importantly, they lost two very valuable players, Santana and Cabrera, to go with Hafner, who was already lost.
Lopez, 28-year-old infielder. He gone.
Second strikeout for Peavy. Manny Acta seeing his club start to dissolve. Not the same situation as last year. Last year they started out 30-15 and they saw their pitching staff dissolve. This year, also starting out 8 games over, they were in first place, 26-18. And now it looks like the offense is starting to dissolve.
Well, the biggest thing that Cleveland has had going for them is the attitude that Manny Acta has instilled. That's the biggest thing. And the biggest thing for the Tampa Bay Rays is the same way. Since he's been there, Joe Madden, that attitude he's instilled. When a manager gets you to thinking, gets a team to thinking that they can win, that's the greatest thing he can do for his ball club. It's not X's and O's. It's not putting hit and runs on. It's not putting bunts on. X's and O's in baseball don't mean hardly anything. They mean something in football. They mean something in basketball. In baseball, they don't. Beckham's got him. 2 down. And Santana last night, he took some vicious foul tips, and then he took one in the mask. Watch this. This is a big blow right here.
That's one of the great things baseball has done to change it, because now there's a 7-day concussion syndrome disabled list instead of the 15 days you normally had to spend on it. They wouldn't put a catcher on because they didn't know when he would come back. Now they're able to do that and then evaluate him and see if he can come back after a week instead of after 2+ weeks.
Well, that's a shot that I mean, it just jars you from the neck all the way down to the coccyx.
Well, they took one look in his eyes and they said, that's it.
Yeah.
Come on out, Lou Marson, you go behind the plate.
Well, I've been hit with some good shots as there's a chopper. Nice play by Alexei. Damon is gone. 1-2 free inning for Jake. And after an inning and a half, he leads it 4-0. Now watch this split. Now on the left, this is the first pitch he saw. Now watch his commitment to the pitch. You can see he's trying to take that ball into left center field. And this enables him. Now watch, here's the double that he pulls right down the line. He's trying to do the same thing, but Low is not overpowering. He's got plenty of time to get the head out, and he smoked it right down the line with that same approach.
And the difference is you could see where Marson was setting up. He wanted the ball inside, but it drifted over the plate.
Hudson hits the first pitch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Orlando has really looked good for those of you who have not been seeing us, but now on nationwide TV, Orlando has looked good since he's been in that Sox uniform. He's done a good job at third base, and he's now 3 for 10.
Well, he's been flawless at third, and he's been tested on a few different plays. He's been asked to retreat, make the deep throw from third base, and he's got much more than a second baseman's arm.
Well, that was the play that really impressed me. Was that long peg he had to first.
Because you wonder if it's a lifetime second baseman, and he was a terrific second baseman, 4 Gold Gloves down there, if he'd have enough arm. And as it turned out, he got more than enough.
0-2 the count to De Aza. He was called out on a tailing fastball. De Aza, to show you what kind of job he's been doing, he's third in runs scored in all of baseball, only behind Kinsler and Hamilton of Texas.
Hamilton hit another home run last night.
Boy, I tell you what, that's amazing.
Yeah, because he hardly ever hits.
He already had, I know it.
I know. It was his 19th, I believe.
He's something.
And Nelson Cruz is driving in runs at an alarming rate.
He had 8 RBIs.
That's pretty good. That's a good week for most guys.
Well, Hamilton is something special. There's no question about that. And people, they ask me about him. You don't understand how big he is until you stand next to him. He is big. As there's a chopper foul. I think he's got size 15 or 16 shoes. And he can fly. He can run. Outfield straight up. And the 2-2. Got to make him get it up. And so with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click, our BMW picks to click. Jim and Joe, our director and the crew, well, they went with Hudson. Steve's going with Viciato. And Matt McEntee and all the great folks at Green Golf Properties and we're going to go with Adam Dunn. Here's Beckham. He started off that 4-run first with a line shot single into right. And of course, those picks to click for a limited time. You can get incredible lease deals on the 2012 BMW 3 Series. So visit ChicagolandBMW.com for more information. And stay with us, because at the top of the third, we're going to have the great governor from the great state of Illinois here. As that is Souvenir right side.
Pat Quinn will be here to talk about the Illinois Military Family Relief Fund, which is just a wonderful
Well, Pat's had this thing going. He started it,
yep.
really. And that'll do it. After 2 innings, it is 4-0 Sox. And first pitch to Jack Hanahan, taken for a strike. And now joining us in the booth is the great governor of our great state of Illinois, Pat Quinn. And Pat, welcome. And as we had the mayor on the other night, you as the governor of Illinois had to be just as proud as a peacock.
I was watching the game, and Paulie hit the home run. And, you know, I think it's good that the Sox, you know, are underrated here this year. You know, Detroit is trailing us right now. We got to catch Cleveland. And Jake Peavy, what a year so far, huh, Hawk?
Oh, yeah. He's had a good one. Well, but before we get into the relief fund here, IMFRF, our great police department here did a fantastic job for that NATO summit.
Yeah, we had the state police and the Chicago police, and our Illinois National Guard was also involved. So it was a tremendous effort by everyone. We owe them a permanent debt of gratitude. Count here's 2-2 on Hanahan. But you know, we have a Military Family Relief Act, Stephen Hawk, that's set up in Illinois since 2003. And it provides help to military families who are deployed from the National Guard and Reserves. Just struck him out.
There you go.
93, huh? 93 miles an hour.
Yep.
But this weekend, especially with Memorial Day, we'd like to ask fans to take a look at our website. It's operationhomefront.org, and it gives information on how all of us on the home front can help those who are deployed and who are on the front line. We have a lot of service members right now in Afghanistan from Illinois, and our whole country want to help them out.
Well, this is something that's been very dear to you because actually you championed this project.
Yeah, that's for sure. I got it started, and you know, we expect Steve and yourself to join us to go to Afghanistan with the world champion 2012 White Sox. We first got to win the championship, and then we'll go.
It's a mere technicality.
Well, you know, you've told me now twice.
I know. Hawk actually texted me. He said he wants to go. I've been there once. It's a very foreboding place. But, you know, there are service members from our state right now that are watching this game, you know, whether it's on the radio or whatever. They follow sports. It's so important when you're far away from home to have something that reminds you of hometown. You know, Steve?
Governor, you've helped 25,000 families. And I know that the people who are watching out there would like to know how they can get involved and help them along with what everybody in the state of Illinois has done. So tell us how you get involved.
The Military Family Relief Trust Fund, anyone can give a voluntary donation from $1 on. It's totally voluntary. Every dollar is used to help families who are, when their service member is deployed from the Guard or Reserves, a lot of times their salary in the military is far below what they were making in civilian life. So we've used that fund to help people with over $13 million. That's one way. But another way, if you have frequent flyer miles, there's something called Hero Miles, where you can donate a portion of your frequent flyer miles. And that's, we got a account here, it's 3-2 on Diaz.
Well, remember one thing.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan was a sportscaster, too.
Well, that's right. And he came from Illinois. He started in Tampico and he went to Dixon.
He also did recreation, so he wasn't at the game and still did. And that's how
good he
was.
Do you remember the recreation when the tape broke? He had to keep – they kept fouling the ball off. There's another foul by Diaz here. And then there was a throw over to first. Boy, he's 4 throwovers.
Wow, this inning has taken a long time.
Yeah, he was resourceful. You know, but you know, the Hero Miles thing, we do this every winter. I go to Germany to the military family, or to the military hospital there, and ball 4, Diaz is on. But you know, for those who have frequent flyer miles, by donating them to this fund, Hero Miles, then military families who have a family member in a military hospital, it might be in Bethesda, Maryland, or somewhere like that. A lot of military families can't, they don't have a lot of money, and to fly to the bedside of their wounded hero, very expensive, and we give free airline tickets through Hero Miles to folks to help their loved ones recover. It's really a great program. You know, so all this is on our website, operationhomefront.org, and you know, Memorial Day is coming up here on Monday, but every day should be Memorial Day, Hawk. You know, our men and women who wear the uniform of our country. I was with General Petraeus this morning. He was the Grand Marshal of the parade. You know, they are the best of the best, and great sports fans, baseball fans. There's a line drive hit.
It's going to
fall.
fall. Yeah. So 2 on 1 out here in the top of the third. Go ahead.
Well, okay. I think it's just this is the time, and especially to remind people that there are folks from our midst who volunteer for the military. It's an all-volunteer military. They give everything, their time, oftentimes their limbs, to help our democracy, to help us watch games like this. So we shouldn't forget their families and definitely themselves. That's really what America's all about.
Well, one of the things, too, is that this is awesome, is your model has served for more than 35 other states.
Yeah. We want every state to have a military family relief trust fund, and we have a few more to go. We'd really like to make this national because we've had it in Illinois almost a decade, and 25,000 families. That's a lot of folks over the last decade who have had their loved ones deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan, and we got to make sure we take good care of them when their loved ones are away. Sometimes things happen, the car breaks down, or you have health insurance bills, gasoline prices are high, and so this fund is used to help each of the service members' families get through maybe a tough financial time.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Chu. Chu is a tough out, and in fact, in this lineup, he is the toughest out they have. So the advantage goes to Jake. 4-0 Sox here in the top of the third inning, but the Indians are threatening with 2 on 1 out.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you, the Indians have got to take them seriously this year, huh?
Well, they have a great attitude, and you know what attitude is about. Attitude can overcome a lot of things, as that breaking ball is low. And we were just talking earlier about how Joe Madden down at Tampa Bay, look what he's done.
What a great manager. I went to the 6th game of the World Series last year with 3 Redbird fans, a lot of Redbird fans in Southern Illinois. And the Cardinals were 1 strike away twice. And they pulled it off. And, Tony La Russa just had them working, never giving up.
That's right. He had them thinking they could win.
Yeah, and they were 10.5 back in late August.
Watch out. That got him.
Bases loaded.
So that will load him up with 1 out.
Some uncharacteristic wildness on the part of Peavy.
Yeah.
An unusual walk to a guy who doesn't have a major league hit in Diaz. Now he hits Chu. So AJ going out there to settle him down.
Yeah, Brantley, what a catch there, huh? First inning.
Boy. Wow. That was one of the best we have seen all year. Maybe the best we've seen all year long.
Yeah, he hurts us, doesn't he, Brantley? Yeah.
All right, the donations to the Illinois Military Family Relief Fund can also be made online at www.illinois.gov or via mail by sending donations to the Illinois Military Relief Fund at 1301 North McCarver Boulevard in Springfield, 62702. Governor, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a million, Hawk. It's good to see you, and I hope we can go to Afghanistan with you and Steve. Having been there once, anybody from home really inspires the troops. It really is important.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. First we win here, then we win there. Okay.
Thanks, Governor.
All right. Good to see you. Let's get
Governor
out of this
Pat
inning.
Quinn. And don't forget about this Illinois Military Family Relief Fund. They've already helped out over 25,000 families. Wow. That ball's trouble. That's in the gap. So this inning is going to provide the Indians with 3 runs. And it's a 4-3 ball game. So Brantley comes through with a big bases loaded double.
Well, Brantley, first of all, saved 3, and now he drives in 3. And it'll send Don Cooper to the mound. So the 4-0 early lead is all but squandered at this point. And most of it courtesy of Michael Brantley. He drives in runs 15, 16, and 17.
So a quick strike by Cleveland. Sans Cabrera, Sans Santana, and Sans Hafner. Kipnis struck out on a 3-2 fastball. I'll tell you, the governor, that program is that's really dear to his heart, because I said he championed this thing, but that's a tremendous program.
Well, when he started it, he wasn't even the governor.
No, he's lieutenant governor.
He's lieutenant governor, so a great idea, and it's helped a whole lot of people.
Did not go. Four runs, 5 hits, no errors for our guys. 3 runs, just 2 hits, no errors. That walk and hit batsman have scored. Walking Diaz a big at bat, though. The young man just had 1 major league at bat.
Just got called up, played defensively last night, got an at bat, and that walk started this rally.
And it counts 3-1 with Lopez on deck. Still 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. It's full. That's high and deep into right center field. And it's out of here. Looked like a get me over breaking ball, and they go a long way. It is 5-4 Cleveland.
Home run number 7, RBIs 25 and 26 for the local product, Jason Kipnis, who always has a lot of his friends and family in the stands when he comes to town. That time got it up in the wind. It just kept drifting. And Jake threw a very flat slider. He's gotten a lot of pitches up, and they've hurt him.
Getting me over 3-2 breaking ball has a tendency to go a very long way. So here's Lopez. He struck out. Jake retired. If you're just tuning in, the first 7 he's seen, as that's popped up. Beckham. That's out number 2. But he retired the first 7, then all of a sudden he walks Diaz.
Yeah, it looks eerily similar to that 6th inning against the Tigers with a 6-0 lead. And when it started to fall apart for Jake, he couldn't right the ship. So hopefully this will be an exception, and Robin will stay out of the bullpen for quite some time. Because after this series, going to Tampa Bay is no picnic, as the Tampa Bay team 17-7 at home.
The 1-1. Well, I've said it many times over the last 50 years. There's a little flare, and that's going to fall for a base hit. To me, pitching in the major leagues is the most difficult position of any sport. Because, first of all, any pitch that you throw is liable to end your career. That's number 1. And the next thing is that you have to throw so many pitches that all of a sudden it gives you the opportunity to have that mental. That's why pitching in the big leagues is so tough. You can walk a guy like Diaz, who's this his 2nd major league at bat, and all of a sudden, as a veteran pitcher like Jake, shouldn't do it, but you get upset with yourself. It blows your rhythm, it blows your whatever, and then boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, you're trailing in the ball game.
And a couple of other factors. You can do your job to perfection, but you got 7 guys behind you who can't have any letdowns, and then you have to have an offense that scores you some runs. Otherwise, you can do your job exceptionally well and still lose.
That's hit hard but foul. Sometimes when you lose that focus, I don't care who you are or how long you've been playing in the major leagues, when you lose that focus, sometimes it's just tough to regain it. Very, very difficult to get it back. That ball's hammered as well. Jake, because of this wildness, is making some pitches very, very hittable.
But what he's not doing is throwing that straight change at 83 that we've seen him use so effectively. When he gets in trouble, has a tendency to want to try to throw the ball a little bit harder. And for him, that's not a good thing because he's topping out 92 miles an hour. There's that change.
He gone with a bad cookie number, goes up on that board. We'll go to the bottom of the third. We trail it 5-4. They scored 5 runs top half of this inning. So you give a veteran like Derek Lowe a second chance, which he feels like he is very fortunate to have. And we'll see how he reacts with it. And Adam, he singled and scored back in the first.
He lifted one right off the ground against a guy that he's always had problems with. Got Kipnis way back on the grass at second base.
Well, if he changes speeds with a good sinker to Adam's going to have a tough time.
He's had a tough time his entire career with Lowe. But he's not the Lone Ranger. There's a lot of guys had a tough time with him.
No, not when you win 172 games and you're 24 over.
Most amazing thing to me is you have that kind of record primarily as a starter, and yet you led the league in saves one year. It's pretty amazing.
There's a shot. Wow.
That's a double.
Kochman.
That's a double.
That got Kochman hard. So Adam leads it off with a 2-bagger. Hopefully Casey's all right. He says he's okay.
To give you an idea how hard this ball is hit, Casey Kochman is a terrific defensive first baseman. And yet he had absolutely no chance on a ball with phenomenal overspin. He just hit the dirt, bounded way up over his glove, and he's doing everything he can to stop from getting hit in the face with it.
Got him in the arm. So here's Paulie. Paulie rocketed a single down the third baseline to knock in a run. Only now hitting at .385 to go along with those 10 homers and 28 ribbies. And there, is that sweet or what? Is that sweet or what? Mercy. So that'll be a ground rule double. Adam scores, and this game is tied at 5. That's the approach, Mr. Approach.
RBI number 29. As Lowe gets this one up, something that's usually death for a sinker baller, and especially to a guy leading the league in hitting. Well, he takes it right down the line, and what looked to be just a 1-0, 2-1 game now is 5-5.
There's a shot, that ball well inside.
Last time up, Michael Brantley went all the way back to the wall, went over the wall, and robbed him of a 3-run homer. The Anything's Possible replay is brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible.
Well, you saw that approach right there by the professor, Canerco, who's got his PhD in hitting. And we talked about earlier, if right-handers take that approach, they're going to hit him in the right field or back through the middle. You can get it, because now you can see that ball a lot better, and you can make him get it up.
Well, that's exactly what's happening to Lowe, with the exception of the second inning. In the second inning, for whatever reason, he got everything down. In the first inning and this inning, he's gotten some pitches up, and our offense at this point is in pretty much high gear. You're not going to make a whole lot of mistakes to them and get away with it.
There's a base hit. Paulie, he's going to be waved around. And here's the throw, cut off. Good job by Alex, who gets in there safely, and the Sox take a 6-5 lead. Mercy. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI 21 for Alex Rios. Looked like there might have been a play at the plate, but a good job of base running, and Rios, who really didn't stop, knew that the cutoff man was going to be able to see him and perhaps take a shot at him. The cutoff man is Kochman. He did see him. He did take a shot at him, but Alex, being as fast as he is, was able to beat the play. And Paulie scores without a play.
So here's AJ. He doubled in a run in the first and also scored. Pops that one up. So 1 out. And here comes the tank. Tank. A 2-run single in the first. Six, 8-0 for our guys, 5-4-0 for their guys. Breaking ball outside. Now field straight up and spread out, about equidistant. Now a little confusion. And we'll have a moment. I want to send out a very, very happy shout out and happy birthday to Arlene Giselic. A happy 75th birthday, hon. Big Sox fan. That's outside. 2-0.
Well, Lowe's got first base open. He's got a red-hot hitter up in Viciedo. And you've got Ramirez and Hudson coming up next. Let's see if he pitches to the tank. That ball was off the plate. It looked to me like he just assumed walk him, but got the call by Ted Barrett.
Well, he's going to stay out there. He's going to get that call. That ball hit hard into right field stretch. He looks up. You can't put it on the board. Yes! Yes! A line shot by the tank. And the Sox lead it 8-5. Mercy.
That's just a bad pitch by a veteran pitcher. A terrible thought process. You're privy to all the scouting reports, and you know that there's a couple guys in this lineup that are hitting everything in sight, and one of them is the man he's looking at. And that's Viciedo, who's a dead low ball hitter. It didn't look like he wanted to pitch to him. Decided, well, I got the call before. I'll go away one more time. Cost him a 2-run homer. And it's an 8-5 Sox lead. 4 driven in by the tank.
And that's back to the middle. That pitch was up and just off the plate. So here comes Scott Radinsky, the pitching coach.
He wants to give that bullpen a chance to get loose as Alexei takes it right back up the middle. 10 Sox hits. We're now through the third. And Derek Lowe, who came into this game with an ERA of 2.15, is absolutely getting shellacked. Jeremy Accardo, who we saw last night, he came on for the 8th inning, which was their last inning. Walked a couple, gave up a hit, didn't give up any runs, is starting to throw in the pen. And Diane Viciedo, that ball probably didn't get more than 20-25 feet off the ground all the way out of the ballpark.
The 2 livest bats in the American League are Viciedo and Cespedes.
Unfortunately, one of them is on our club, and the other, for Oakland, unfortunately, disabled.
Hudson takes first pitch strike. Orlando grounded out to Kipnis. And that's out of play.
To this point, as we sit, Derek Lee's ERA has gone from 2.15 to 3 1/4 with this performance. 60 total pitches in 2 1/3 innings.
And that's top foul. Well, it's just a hitting contagion. When everybody thinks they can hit, they hit.
Well, this offense has been in high gear. And with the temperatures climbing, so are the batting averages.
There he goes. He's safe. Picks up his 4th stolen base. He's 4 for 5. Pick him up, Orlando. Hitting is contagious and infectious. Ergo contagion. That's hit hard, knocked down. Now they're going to go to third base. And he's safe. Made a good throw. The ball came out of his glove.
Wait a second. You're losing 8-5. You've got an out at first base automatically. And the ball bounds off your body, and you try to make almost an impossible play at third. I don't think Derek's thought process has been particularly good this inning.
How can it be when you're getting hammered like that?
Well, it's true, but, I mean, he's been out there for so many years. That's going to be the last pitch he's going to make today as Maniaca comes out, going to take him out of the game. But a very bad thought process here in the third inning helped as much as anything else to undo Derek Lowe. So he'll leave. Accardo will enter. We'll step out and be back after these messages. For the fifth time, his ERA just under 5. He has no record. He does inherit runners at the corners. One out here in the bottom of the third as the Indians retook the lead with 5 in the third. We've come back with 4 of our own. And a very tough day for a man who's been an excellent pitcher, not only this year, but through the course of his career, Derek Lowe.
So 1 out, runners at the corners. Alejandro for 2, a couple of strikeouts. So he's glad to see Derek Lowe gone. But everybody else, well, they had their way with it. They make some bad pitches, and they took advantage of it. And very quickly the count 0-2. They ruled it a fielder's choice.
Yep. You think it should have been E5?
No question. There he goes. Foul tip hung on to, so the stolen base. But now 2 out, and it's up to Beckham.
In just 3 innings, Alejandro already has the hat trick. That's tough to do. It means your team is hitting the baseball all over, and you're one of the few that are not. 3 strikeouts in 3 innings.
There's a strike to Gordon, who's 1 for 2. He started off that 4-run first with a 1-out single. Sox 4 in the first and 4 so far here in the third. So a big opportunity with a base hit here to really put some distance in. And he pops him up. But a lot of damage done. Will go to the fourth, leading 8-5. League of the game, and today we want to recognize Apple Chevrolet for their support of the Tinley Park Bobcats. Tinley Park Bobcats, your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana dealers, is supporting over 30,000 young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program by providing leagues with equipment kits, instructional clinics, and financial support. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Jack Hanahan struck out his first trip. So now Jake, well, he's been given a reprieve.
Yeah, now Jake's got to come back, get that concentration back, the concentration he had in the first 2 innings. And it's like playing a 6-inning game. You've got a 3-run lead. Normally you'll take your chances. That one took the mask right off AJ.
Well, that shot to Santana last night, I mean, that was almost just absolute dead center for that mask. And you know, when something like that, it doesn't hurt. It just absolutely, it's like getting poleaxed. You ever been poleaxed?
No, but I've been hitting the mask. I used to be a catcher.
That's fun, wasn't it?
No, it was not fun at all.
Loved it.
Those foul tips off your tips of your shoulders and the balls that hit your feet and the guys that run you over, wasn't that all that much fun.
He gone. Well, when you get poleaxed, which I did in the first round one time, it doesn't knock you out, but you just can't move. I mean, you're conscious and you know what's going on, but it doesn't hurt.
Everything is short-circuited.
Yeah, the only thing you're looking up is lights. 10 toes up. So here's Diaz. He started off that 5-run third with a 1-out walk, and just his second major league at bat. Takes first pitch strike. The youngster's 23 years old, out of Bani in the Dominican. He's a big shortstop, 6'4", 200 pounds. Switch hitter. Last year at Akron, hit .255, 9 homers, and drove in 60.
Well, they think he might have a shot. That being said,
not with Cabrera.
Not at shortstop
Right.
with the Cleveland Indians.
No, he's going to have to move. He gone.
Now Jake went right after him that time, and it was the walk to Diaz in a kind of a tentative at bat after he'd retired 7 in a row that started everything off. But this time, right after him, kept the ball up in the zone and threw it right by him.
So here's Lou Marson. Picked up a soft single into right center. That was his first hit in the 11 at bats off Jake. Lou is a good receiver, and he can throw, catch it, and throw it. 0-2.
A lot of kids at the ballpark today, as you would expect, on just a beautiful afternoon. Temperature's ideal, 72 degrees.
And please make it a happy Memorial Day weekend.
And a safe one.
A safe one, and a loving one, and a reflective one. He gone. He strikes out the side. 7 punch outs for the Jake Meister. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, leading by 3.
Jake Peavy with a big bounce back inning. After giving up 5, he figured, well, I'll go and strike out the side and won't involve my fielders in this one. See what's possible with AT&T Uverse TV and AT&T high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
Adam Dunn will lead it off. Big man is 2 for 2, a single, a double, and 2 runs scored. To 2-0 the count. Just joining us, Sox 4 in the first. They scored 5 in the third. We came right back with 4 more in the third. Up high at 90. One out. And you can come to any Chicagoland area Hooters when the Sox are on the road to catch the games on their flat screen HD TVs and enjoy great Miller beer features. Hooters, the original wing joint.
One of the reasons why this is such a great game is because it's so unpredictable. Here you came into the game today with numbers 1 and 3 in ERAs in the American League. Lowe at 215, tied with Verlander, and Peavy at 239. And there's 13 runs on the board, and we're not through the 4th inning.
Here's Paulie. He's 2 for 2. And now make it 3 for 3. Down into the corner. So he will make the turn. That's his second double. That's sweet to watch.
Well, he's leading the league in hitting because the National League, to limit his power, the American League rather, has decided to stay away from him. That time, Accardo got that fastball up. And when Paulie's swinging the bat like he is now, it really doesn't matter if it's up or down, in or out. If he's looking for it in a certain spot, the pitcher has big problems.
Well, actually, you know, when you're swinging the bat the way he is right now, you really don't have to zone in. As Alex was robbed of a 3-run homer on a brilliant, I mean sensational catch by Brantley, and also has an RBI single and a run scored. But you only have a couple, 3-4 times a year that you go through a streak where you don't think about anything. They call it being in the zone. You don't think about anything. You just go to the plate, you see the ball, and you hit the ball.
It's in any sport and in any position. There's some days, you go on the mound, you think about throwing a breaking ball in the outside corner. It just goes there. You're not thinking about the mechanics or where your foot's going to hit or how high you have to keep your hand up. It goes there, and it goes there all night long. Wherever you want it, it goes.
That's into right field. Get down. Oh, beautiful catch right there by Chu, robbing Alex of extra bases. So 2 out. That's just 2 hang whoopings right there for Rios.
Well, they've had great outfield play, and unfortunately, both of them have come at the expense of Alex Rios. Would have had a 3-run homer, but for Brantley that time, with Chu diving, that's at least a triple if that ball gets by him. And Alex, who can hardly hit the ball any better, has 1 for 3 to show for it.
AJ, 1 for 2, an RBI double. Well, baseball to me, the reason it's the most beautiful game going is because it's not played on a clock. You can't score when you're on defense, and when you're on offense, the other team controls the ball.
And you can have all the scouting reports you want with all the tendencies you have and all the spray charts you want to have. And there are certain days when absolutely nothing works. Nobody hits into their tendencies. You can't make the pitches you want, and when you do, they still get hit. And there's other days where you make mistakes and get away with every one of them. You'll never be able to figure out this game. Nobody ever has. Nobody will.
That's right. Been in it for all parts of 7 decades, and I can tell you this: the one thing that I definitely know is the longer I'm in it, the less I know about it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful game.
If you consider how many games together you and I have seen, and yet we still see things probably on a weekly basis that we've never seen before.
Get down. Get down. It won't. It'll hang up for Damon. And that'll do it. We're into the 5th, leading 8-5.
Member FDIC. Protecting home plate for the Sox this afternoon is A.J. Pierzynski. A.J.'s offense is one of the big reasons the Sox are 7-2 in their last 9 games. Over that span, he's hitting .472 with 3 homers and 10 runs driven in. This catcher profile is sponsored by Xfinity Home. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime, anywhere.
Nice going.
Thank you. I'd like some Xfinity Home. I want to be connected.
Here's Chu. 0 for 1. He was also hit by pitch, and he scored as he takes first pitch strike. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors for our Sox. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for their Indians. And the count very quickly 0-2. And tomorrow, well, that's Kids Day. Kids Day right here at U.S. Cellular Field. Kids get a free ticket with each paid adult ticket. So be sure to swing by the Radio Disney booth at Gates 3 from 11:30 to 12:30 for music, dancing, and great giveaways. Visit whitesox.com for details. That's tomorrow, Kids Day, and a big day of fun here at the old ballpark. Also, the finale of this 3-game set. Gavin Floyd will lock horns with Ubaldo Jimenez. Both Chu's double last night were to left field.
Jake has a pretty high pitch count for him at this point, 86, and nobody out here in the 5th.
A bullet right back through the middle. So leadoff man aboard.
I think Chu has found his calling as a leadoff hitter because that big power he had, you know, he got hit, broke his thumb, got hit a couple more times off that same thumb, and he's not the same type of power hitter that he was before. Maybe as a leadoff hitter he'll reacquire that stroke because right now he's pretty tough to get out.
Here's Brantley. He's 1 for 2, had a bases clearing double back in the 3rd. Line shot. Hang with him. Michael. 1 out. I think what happened to Jake back in the 3rd inning, he retired 3 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd in order. Then he struck out Hanahan to lead off the 3rd. And Juan Diaz came to the plate, and only a second major league bat, he walked him. And I think Jake, being the absolute intense competitor he is, he just lost it. He just snapped when he walked it.
Again, it happened in Detroit where you lose that concentration, and it's sometimes difficult to call it back, even for veterans.
Oh, you've done it.
Well, sure, and it's the art. First of all, you have to learn how to get the concentration to take you to the major league mound. Once you learn how to get it, the toughest thing is to get it back once you've lost it. Some guys never learn that.
Well, we've talked about it before. It's just like Eddie Arcaro said. It's like a horse. Most horses just got one runner. Your good ones have maybe 2. He said your great ones have as many as they need.
So that's a pitcher reaching back, going to the well to get a little extra. Not that many can do it that often. That's how you have the Justin Verlanders of the world, where he'll go and throw in the low 90s for a while. If he gets in trouble, he'll have it. Then he'll go back to the low 90s and get in trouble. He'll have it again, and he winds up over 100 miles an hour.
Well, the other night against these Indians, he started off the game throwing 89, 90, 91. He threw Chu a changeup that he hit out of the ballpark, hit it like 430 feet on a changeup, and then in the 8th inning he was throwing 100. So you have to think, and Verlander lost that ball game 2-1. Jose Lopez had a single to knock in, because that's chop foul. But Verlander, to me, I've seen a lot of great right-handers, and I've faced a lot of great right-handers. You know, when you talk about your Don Drysdales and your Catfish Hunters and your Jim Palmers and Bob Gibsons, Juan Marichals, I faced all those guys. I want to tell you, Verlander's right there with all of them. That ball hit high and deep into right center field. So Kipnis, that's his second two-run homer.
And suddenly it's one-run game once again. And the only out of the inning was a rocket off the bat of Brantley. So Kipnis has driven in 4. He's hit his 7th and 8th home runs. He is the most powerful man in this lineup. And with the depleted lineup, that's why he's hitting 3rd. So Jake throws a changeup, and Kipnis just goes down and gets it.
Deep in the hole, right over the top. 2 down. Well, the first two-run homer he hit was a getting the over 3-2 breaking ball. And that was a changeup. So here's Kochman. He has grounded to second and hit a little soft single in the left field. Eight, 11-0 for us, 7-6-0 for them. And a reminder, you can organize a group outing of 20 or more guests during the season. Purchase a block of tickets or enhance your outing by upgrading to a pregame patio party, diamond suite, or one of our other great party areas. And of course, that's the domain of the Bertucci boys out there. Bobby, Bruno, Anthony, and of course, Giggs. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Yes, he did. He gone. But a 2-run homer by Kipnis, his second 2-run shot of the game. We're halfway home, leading 8-7.
Third Bank, member FDIC.
So here's Tank to face Ricardo.
Ricardo has a pretty good changeup, and that's what he used on the first pitch to Viciedo.
And Viciedo has a good day going. He's 2 for 2.
Back into third, our fourth drive of the game. A line drive rocket in the bullpen.
He also has a 2-run single. Well, in his last 12 games, this being the 12th, he has 7 home runs. In his last 12 games, has 17 RBIs.
It's a pretty,
well, we've talked about the
nice
last
run.
2 years what a monster he's going to be. He's just 23 years old. With a bat as live as his and as strong as he is, anytime the ball gets up in the air, you sort of get a little anxious. That sphincter gets a little anxious.
Well, he really didn't hit that ball at all and almost took 2 back to the track. So the strength is always going to be there.
Here's Alexei. He's 1 for 2 with a stolen base. Takes a sinker strike. And that is Shank.
Jose Valverde is back in action for the Tigers as they lead Minnesota 6-3. Valverde has come in, going after the save.
The 2-2. Pull the string on him.
Harold Baines, who's there in statue and also at first base. Back after his daughter graduated from college. I asked him if she was off the payroll now, and he said nope, she's going on to internship. Still have to take care of her.
He told me yesterday. He said that's all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, Harold's been a terrific family man. As Hudson fouls that back, he's 0 for 2 with a stolen base. Quietest ball player I have ever been around in all my over 50 years.
One of the quietest people.
Well, I know some people that quiet, but I've never seen a ball player that quiet. Next to him would be probably Chuck Asigian, who was an outfielder with the Dodgers. I believe he was an All-American fullback at Stanford. Chuck now is, I believe, a very successful lawyer, or was a very successful lawyer. That ball hit hard. Meanwhile, right at him. That's a hang Wolfham for Hudson. All right, we'll go to the 6th, leading by 1. 8 runs, 11 hits for us, no errors. 7 runs, 6 hits for them, no errors. Johnny Damon will lead it off.
And Jake hits a century mark in pitches. So you would think somebody would be up in the pen just in case. Jake had a very tough third and a very tough fifth.
And there's the strike. Two and one to count.
There are the numbers so far. 8 strikeouts and 5+. Although this is the bottom part of the order.
That's in the center field. De Aza coming on. He's there. Nice catch. Good jump. 1 out. Damon now 0 for 3.
That's purely positioning, because normally you would think this would be a base hit, but De Aza was shading him over toward left center and just cut across and made the play easily.
So here is Hanahan. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
This is his first game back after missing 12 days. So they have had a number of injuries. And Matt Thornton now loosening in the pen. Again, just in case.
And once again, if you're just tuning in, Indians do not have Asdrubal Cabrera. Tight hamstring. They don't have Carlos Santana. Put him on a 7-day DL because of a concussion he received last night. He just took a beating behind that plate last night with multiple hard foul tips, and then that one got him right square in the mask. Just poleaxed him. So they call it Luke Carling.
Luke is a catcher out of the mold of Lou Marson, in that he can catch it, call it, throw it, and block it. You're just not going to get a whole lot of offense.
And that ball is fouled, and that's going to be caught by the tag. He got there. Beautiful catch by Viciedo.
Well, Dan kept his concentration because he was going hard toward the seats. It's a long run for it. This ball slicing away from him. And he's able to make the catch. Nice job.
Yes, it was. And he has saved. What a difference in our outfield play this year as opposed to the past. It's like night and day. About a 360.
Well, it's always advantageous to hit cutoff men, but it also helps to have a guy in left field that has a right fielder's arm. And that's what Viciedo is.
Well, the outfield play we saw last year from Kansas City was just about as good as it gets.
And well, you couldn't run on any of them.
None of them. And Tank has already proved probably 4 to 5 times this year he has helped win us a ball game with that arm of his. As Diaz can't get it. He has not overthrown a cutoff man yet. As a matter of fact, Rios, De Aza, and Viciedo, none of them have overthrown a cutoff man yet. And this is our 47th game. Last year it was a common occurrence. It was the exception to the rule when there was an opportunity that we hit a cutoff man.
The game is won or lost 90 feet at a time. And if you give up the 90 as opposed to take the 90, you're going to win a lot fewer games. It's Nick Hagedorn loosening.
He gone. 1-2-3 inning, and it's still 8-7 good guys.
AP audio setting and is provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station. So Accardo now is gone, and the Indians will go to their third pitcher of the afternoon, and it's Nick Hagedorn. He came over from the Red Sox, putting together a strong year, on for the 14th time, the ERA 2.08. He's a hard-throwing young left-hander. Opponent's hitting just 152, which is a great batting average against.
Well, this game is taking on now a different perspective. This game right now has become one of, we have got to win this ball game.
I mean, now it's like a 1-0 game. You got 4 at bats, they have 3, and make it hold up.
First pitch strike to Diaz, who is 0 for 3 with the hat trick today. Yeah, when you've got a 4-0 lead in the first inning, and all of a sudden they take a 5-4 lead, you come right back and lead with 4 more and lead at 8-5. Then they come right back, and it's an 8-7 game. Now it's a battle of macho, so to speak.
Well, it's a game if you win. You know, every game, obviously, in your own division, but especially against the leader, is worth 2 games.
That ball hit in the left field. Damon going back now on the track. And that's out number 1.
Come out ahead of this one, you move a game and a half back at Cleveland. You come out on the short end of this, you're 3.5 games back.
So here's Beckham. Gordon started off that 4-run first with a line shot single into right field with 1 out. It's Rodman Ventura bobblehead day today. 27,151 in the house. And of course, another big day coming up on June 2nd. And the Mariners are in town. Because that'll be the Carlton Fisk replica statue day to the first 20,000 fans. And that'll be provided by Mission Foods, the official tortilla and tortilla chip of the White Sox. So you can purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX game. That's Saturday, June 2nd. First 20,000 fans will receive a beautiful Carlton Fisk replica statue. A nice keepsake. Has a little flipper, and it's going to hang up for him. 2 down.
Chu decided that he wanted to slide for whatever reason. That ball almost took off over his head.
Yeah, he didn't have to slide.
That's one you got to catch waist high.
Unless he lost it.
I think he's telling Brantley that he did lose it. It just went down, was hoping to make the catch. You watch him here, and for whatever reason, maybe coming out of the stands, he loses it. But he's able to make the play.
First pitch strike to Adam, who was 2 for 3, a single, a double, and 2 runs scored.
Ready to trade deadline. The Indians made a terrific trade with Boston. Victor Martinez going Boston's way, and Masterson, Ryan Price, and Hagedorn coming over from Boston. And now Hagedorn and Masterson are big parts of this pitching staff.
Well, Masterson has become a good pitcher. He beat Verlander the other day 2-1. When he keeps the ball down, sometimes he can be unhittable. And on the other side of that page, when he gets it up, he is real hittable.
When he came over, they didn't know if he was going to be able to start or not because he was so vulnerable to the left-handers. But then he got a little tilt on that slider, started to change speeds a bit more, and now he's turned into a very dependable starter.
They got the shift on, and the 1-2 pitch. Barrett rings him up, and we'll go to the 7th. Lou Marson will lead it off here in the top of the 7th inning against the Jake Meister. There's a breaking ball, first pitch strike. Marson is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Gap out there in left center. That breaking ball hit hard in the center, but we got a man there.
And I think that's going to be it for Jake. I think that Robin wanted him to get out Marson. And with the 3 left-handers, 2 Brantley and Kipnis, at least 2 definitely to hit this inning, he's going to go to the pen, and that's going to be it for Jake for today.
I'll tell you one thing about Jake. I have really grown, since he is healthy, I have really grown to respect that man right there because he is an ultimate competitor. So, the other part, Thornton comes on and we'll be back.
Shin-Soo Choo. Thornton at 2-3, ERA 3.26, out for the 24th time, so he's been a very busy man. In fact, the busiest man out of the bullpen on the ball club. Choo has been very difficult to deal with in this series. Jake didn't have real good stuff today, but battled him. He'll leave with the lead, and hopefully Matt Thornton and the pen can make it hold up.
Choo goes through it. He is 1 for 2. He's gone out to center. Was hit by a pitch in the back. Singled and scored. Well, I think Jake will be. That's whistle right on by him at 96. Saying the big at bat for him in this ball game was that 1-out walk to Juan Diaz.
Changed everything around as Jesse Crane starts getting loosened up and ready to go.
Breaking ball.
A healthy Jesse Crane to go with Nate Jones and Addison Reed will give us one of the best right-handed sides in the baseball.
Breaking ball, get over there. No, Paulie had taken himself. Atta boy, Paulie. Big out. 2 down. And the big hurt is in the house. The big hurt, Frank Thomas, greatest hitter this franchise has ever had. For 8 years, he's the greatest right-handed hitter I have ever seen, and I've seen them all. He'll be 44 years young tomorrow. So a big happy birthday to the big hurt, who gave us all a lot of pleasure.
Omer Ashiq of the Chicago Bulls also on hand today. He's the only guy in the ballpark taller than Frank. Not bigger than Frank.
I was getting ready to say, he's not as wide as Frank.
No, he's not as wide, but he's taller.
Brantley takes ball 2.
Bradley has swung the bat today as well as we've seen him swing it in a long time.
He swung the bat well against us in that series in Cleveland.
And the catch he made today was spectacular.
That ball's hit hard. Nice backhand right over the top. Grab some bench. That'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning. 7th inning stretch. We lead it by 1.
Baseball. Got a new pitcher in the ball game for the Indians in a game that's gotten uncomfortably close, and that is the side-arming and occasionally submarining Joe Smith. 4-1 ERA, 2.84 on for the 21st time, one of the trifecta of Indian right-handers that have made them so tough. And he's on because the first two are right-handed in Konerko and Rios, and both of them have scalded the ball today.
Paulie 3 for 3, an RBI single in the first, RBI double in the third, and a run scored, and a double in the fourth. Paulie now hitting at .392, 10 homers and 29 driven in.
And the relief pitcher that kept the Indians in this game was Jeremy Accardo, who came on in relief of Derek Lowe, and through 2 2/3 innings while his team was able to battle back.
This guy here is tough on us.
Well, judging by his numbers, there's not too many teams and not too many right-handers that get to him.
Well, you know, they talk about the bullpen with right-handers, left-handers. In a perfect world, you'd like to have 3 left-handers down in the pen, 3 right-handers. But if you got 3 good right-handers, you got 6 good right-handers, I don't care. I'd rather have 6 good right-handers than 3 mediocre left-handers.
Well, the Indians,
how they throw as long as they get guys out.
Indians have 3 bordering on great right-handers.
Yeah, they've got their 7th, 8th, and 9th. They're good. That's one reason they're in first place. 2-1 to count.
But of the 3, you can occasionally get to Smith if, as he drops down, he leaves it over the inside part of the plate.
Paulie took that pitch nicely, and it's 3-1. Now the big hurt, 44 tomorrow. I remember his first game, Milwaukee. First hit was a triple. Big Frank could run. There's the leadoff walk. There he is. Greatest hitter in White Sox franchise history. So here is the hard luck kid today. He's been wearing it. Somebody's got to wear it every day. He's worn it today. 1 for 3, an RBI single, and a run scored. But he has been robbed twice. And that ball's scalded. They won't get that one. That's in the gap. So Paulie will make the turn. Now they're going to hold him a third on the double by Alex. Now the ball gets away and he's going to score. Yes, and it's 9-7.
That was just heads-up base running on the part of Paul Konerko. You know, we talk about the fact that he's not a fast runner, but you got a combination of a very good third base coach and a heads-up base runner. And as soon as they saw the relay wasn't handled, that's when Paulie took off. So Alex, who's hit the ball as hard as you can hit it in 4 straight at-bats, has it turned into a double, and then we're most likely going to see an error because Brantley gets it in. It's not handled at all by Diaz, and when it gets away, that's when Paulie scored a big run, the 9th run.
And a good job by Joe McEwing, as here is AJ. He's 1 for 3, an RBI double. And that's going foul. You don't have to be fast to be a good base runner.
Oh, goes 2-base hit, E6, not handling the relay.
You're talking about Rios. Here were his 2-out days. There's a 3-run homer taken away on a brilliant catch by Brantley. And look at Chu now. He's going to rob him.
Well, he could have hit for the cycle because if Chu misses that ball and goes over his head, it's going to be a triple. Brantley robbed him of a home run, and he already has a single and a double.
AJ trying to take it.
Well, he would,
there in the count 0-2.
Yeah, he would love to be able to pull the ball in this situation.
$27,151. And boy, this homestand, they have been lively crowds. They have been into it.
Well, they've been pretty exciting games, all things considered.
And that is just foul. That was close.
Well, that double he hit in the first inning that drove home his 32nd run was in the same situation. He had Kochman back at first. He was over as close to the line as he is now. He just hit so hard that Kochman, a good first baseman, couldn't adjust. He couldn't knock it down.
Just got a piece of that one.
See Marvin Hudson in your picture, as well as Casey Kochman. Another big insurance run standing out at second base. And Rios has got good speed.
And that's flipped into short left field. And that's going to fall.
Not much any base runner can do on that. First of all, there's nobody out. Second of all, you can't take off. You have no idea if it's going to be Damon or Diaz going to be able to make the play. So you're halfway. You're just waiting to see what happens. He realizes now that nobody's going to get it. Damon doesn't have the arm to even think about going to third. No runners at the corners and nobody out.
And here's the Tank. Tank, an RBI, two RBI single in the first, a 2-run homer in the third. He's 2 for 3. And there's a base hit. Alex will score, and it's a 10-7 ball game. And here's that home run that he hit back in the third inning. Just a vicious line drive.
Well, this is part of his 5 runs batted in. That ball didn't get up awfully high, just carried a line drive over the wall. And Joe Smith having some big problems here in the 7th.
Well, after all the time trouble he's given us, I couldn't be happier.
Time to give him a little bit.
Here's Alexei. He's 1 for 3. Ten, 14-0 for our guys. 7, 6, and 1 for their guys.
Tank has driven in 23 runs this year with the 5 today.
As we mentioned, in this being the 12th, in his last 12 games, he's hit 7 home runs, driven in 18. In his last 12 games. He has got a chance to be a monster. He got a chance to be one of the best in the business. Just 23 years old. Sox have handled him perfectly.
Yep. They did. They gave him all the time he needed in the minor leagues, and some thought too much, but seemingly just enough.
Boy, there's a Matabatacola right there. And they don't get it. Bases loaded.
That was bobbled by Kochman, and before he could get the ball out of his glove, Ramirez, who was hustling down the line, and credit Alexei for that, because even though it was in the infield, even though it was a squibber, even though it looked like it was going to be a sure out, he was hustling down the line all the way, and just that bobble got him in and got him a base hit. Good hustle by Alexei Ramirez.
Sacks packed with Sox, nobody out. Don't stop now, boys. As here's Orlando Hudson. He's 0 for 3 last time up. He just scalded one into center field. Infield in. And it all started with a dreaded leadoff walk to Konerko. Not too much, Orlando. Just put the bat on the ball, big guy. On the inside corner.
I know Alex Rios came in early today and had a one-on-one with Jeff Manto. And whatever they talked about, it's paid some dividends.
Well, if you recall in spring training and watched Manto and Alex working out, I said it on the air that day. I told Alex, this is the best you swung a bat since you've been in a White Sox uniform.
Well, today is the best he's swung in a long time.
So a big strikeout there. Big strikeout. 1 down. And that'll bring up Alejandro, who's 0 for 4 today. He's due. He's had 3 strikeouts and then a deep drive to left field, taking Damon back on the track.
Left-hander Tony Sipp listening in the pen.
Breaking ball, strike.
One of their pretty decent left-handers, Rafael Perez, has been on the disabled list. He was only to appear in 8 games so far this year.
One and 1 to count with Beckham on deck. Right to the bag. And he pulls him off the bag. He drops the ball. And 2 runs are going to score. Pierzynski and the tank. And it's 12-7. Yes.
Well, the inexperience of Diaz really showed there, because he had a tailor-made 2. And this throw is on the outfield side of first base. This ball takes him to the bag. He's got time. He just flips it wide of the bag, and Kochman, trying to catch it, keep his foot on the bag, was able to do neither.
So here's Gordon.
One RBI and E6. 20th run batted into the year. We're going to change that to E3.
To the shortstop, shuffles it over to Kipnis, who bobbles it momentarily. Meanwhile, another 4 spot. We've had 3 4 spots on that board today, and we lead at 12-7.
Nice job by Matt Thornton when it was a 1-run game. He got the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. And Jesse comes in on for the 12th time, the ERA 159. Opponent's batting average a paltry 190. So it's nice to see Jesse healthy again. And when he throws that big curveball, he throws it for strikes, you know he's feeling pretty good. And here's one of the big bats in the lineup that remains unhurt, Jason Kipnis.
2 for 3 today, 2 2-run homers. He now has 8 home runs to go along with 28 RBIs. Takes first pitch, fastball, strike. That's deep into left field. Tank giving chase. He's there, reaches up and hauls it in. A nice catch by Tank. Kipnis leading that team in RBIs with 28. So here's Jose Lopez. He's 0 for 3. Takes first pitch strike, and reminder the White Sox and Cubs rivalry continues. this season in the BP Crosstown Cup. Great seats are still available for the Sox and Cubs here at U.S. Cellular Field June 18th, 19th, and 20th. So purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com. That's straight up to shoot. AJ gets rid of the mask. 2 down. Also a reminder that on June 9th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a commemorative 2005 World Series canvas presented by Xfinity. That's on June 9th. First 20,000 fans, a beautiful commemorative 2005 World Series canvas presented by Xfinity. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Kochman, 1 for 3. Final from Target Field, 6-3 Detroit.
Scherzer the winner. Valverde the save. As the big man is back in action. He got hurt in this ballpark, you might remember.
Bottom of the 10th in Texas, tied at 5 with Toronto. Mets shut out the Padres 9-0. And there's the strike. Bottom of the 7th at Camden Yards. Kansas City and the Orioles are tied at 3. But if you're just joining us here, we scored 4 in the first, 4 in the third, and 4 in the 7th. Nice pitch. And way off balance. Easy 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th with a 5-run lead.
Is Tony Sipp. So Joe Smith had a tough outing, and Tony Sipp at 0-2 on for the 21st time. The ERA almost 5.5. And it's a 5-run lead. And we've got to get 3 outs to take the first 2 games of a series that would put us 7-4 for the season series if we come away with a win here today. 7-4 against the Tribe.
So they can put the shift on for the biggin. Adam Dunn, who had the big hit in that ball game, and really, if you want to put it in a proper perspective, as that's fouled back. the big hit in this series so far in the first 2 games.
I don't doubt that at all. Indians came in higher than high after sweeping Detroit, feeling real good about themselves. 3.5 game lead. Detroit was 6 back. They score a run in the first, could have had more, and then Adam took it away with a 2-run homer.
Changed the whole mode. And regardless of what you hear, momentum is huge in any sport, especially in baseball. Yes, he did. And that is out number 1.
Well, Adam thought if he stood there long enough, maybe he could possibly convince Ted Barrett that he didn't exactly swing, but that wasn't the case. He goes down on strikes for the 3rd time today. And Adam just standing there, even though Ted has pointed at him. Then he's tagged. He's still standing there, but eventually he'll leave.
So here's Paulie. He is 3 for 3, 3 runs scored, 2 knocked in, hitting at .392. Yeah, momentum in this game is a 2-way dragon. It's positive or negative.
Yeah, you start rolling down a hill sometimes. It's pretty tough to reverse that.
Well, you and I have been around long enough to know one thing. Winning a Major League Baseball game when you're going bad is just seems it's the toughest thing in the world to do.
Well, every break seems to be a bad one when you're going bad. Conversely, when you're going real good, everything that happens, you get all the calls, you get all the bad hops happen to the other team, not you. The ball's inside the line fair if you're going good, outside the line if you're going bad. I mean, it seems like that happens more times than not, but the teams that execute usually win.
Well, that's where managers have a big part in that as well. Managers can help create momentum positively, because good managers don't want to manage.
If they don't have to.
They don't want to manage. They want the guys. They want to try to get them on a roll, and then get the hell out of the way and let them play.
And when your team is going pretty good, there's not a whole lot to say. Occasionally, if they're going good and they play a bad game, you can talk to them, remind them about what they didn't do. More times than not, the real good managers, when you're playing bad baseball, they don't tell you anything.
That ball hit hard into left center field. Nobody's going to get that one. It one hops over the big hurt Frank Thomas. So Paulie with his 4th hit of the game, his 3rd double. Mercy.
Well, when he's swinging it like this, pitchers are an endangered species, because he's used right field. He's used the right field line. Now he uses left center field. That was a slider down and in. And Paulie, who keeps his weight back, the swing short, and just keeps on hitting the ball hard. So with 3 doubles today and 4 for 4 with a walk, what a day for Paulie.
And here's a man who's had a huge day and been robbed twice, once of a 3-run homer and the other of a possible RBI triple. Alex. And besides that, he still has an RBI single, RBI double, and 2 runs scored. Brantley made the best catch we've seen all year, taking that 3-run homer away. A beautiful timing play, going up over the center field fence and bringing it back in.
12 runs on 16 hits today. We told you when the game started that this offense was starting to get in high gear. Now Paulie will leave. Lillibridge will come on, and a standing ovation for the captain, Paul Konerko. What a job for Paulie. He leads the league in hitting. He's going to start to pull away from most of them. Just a spectacular run.
Well, he just keeps getting better and better.
Paulie's up to 396. started 381, 4
Almost
for 4.
to June.
Almost to June. That's in.
I love it.
That's in some rarefied air right there.
I love it. That ball hit hard, way back. He just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes, a bullet out of here by Alex Rios, and it is 14-7. My goodness.
Alex has had 5 at-bats, and for 5 at-bats, he has crushed each and every one. He's a triple shy of the cycle. He got robbed of a home run earlier. This time, he left no doubt that Michael Brantley was not going to catch this one unless he had a ticket.
AJ, he's 2 for 4. An RBI double, a big RBI double in the first inning. Also singled and scored last inning.
What a day for the offense. What a day for Alex Rios. Now, we saw him have some excellent days in Toronto. He's had some good days here. I've never remember 5 at-bats hitting the ball as hard as he hit it today.
That ball hit high in the center field. And that is out number 2. Well, I've seen him play every game he's played in a White Sox uniform, and I saw every game he played in a Toronto uniform against us, and I concur. I was just trying to think when you were saying that. I don't ever recall him in that Toronto uniform having a day like today.
No.
And let me put it this way: this has been going on with him for a few days now.
Yeah. He's been swinging it great.
Here's Tank.
Another guy swinging it pretty well. 5 runs batted in for the Tank today.
Big 2-run single on the first, 2-run homer, a line shot. You could have hung out all the drawers in Cook County on it. And then another RBI single. No, Alex, you could see it coming in spring training. We said, I told him that's the best you've swung the best since you've been in a White Sox uniform. 1-2. And you can come celebrate Southpaw's birthday party during the game on Sunday, June 3rd. Enjoy specially priced tickets in the on-field parade. First 10,000 kids 13 and under also will receive a Southpaw mini plush pal. It's nice. For more information, visit whitesox.com/SPBD.
I looked at one of the mini plush pals. We have one up here. Very cute.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice. I tell you, the giveaways that they're giving today,
they're pretty good.
They are good.
I know.
They're not pretty good. They're not fair. They are good.
Well, the kids are going to love this one.
2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a rocket right to Hanahan. Almost took his glove off. Meanwhile, a tremendous home run by Alex Rios. We'll go to the 9th, 14-7.
This summer, go to any Chicagoland Dominick's and look for the code word at the Pepsi Max display. Send a postcard to WGN TV and you could be throwing out a first pitch at U.S. Cellular Field. Pick your pitch from Pepsi Max, Dominick's, and WGN. Brent Lillibridge stays in the game at first base after scoring a run ahead of the Titanic 2-run homer by Alex Rios. Will Oman comes into the game at 0-2. The ERA 6 3/4 on for the 20th time.
And here's Johnny Damon. 14-17-0 for our guys. 7-6-2 for their guys. Damon 0 for 3 today. Damon, who has been a terrific player, had a terrific career. Boy, he was one of the better 7th, 8th, and 9th inning hitters in the game. Six letters would describe him, his career. Winner.
Well, he also played on the two biggest stages around. I mean, he played in New York, he played in Boston, he played on World Series champions, perennial pennant contenders.
He was a winner, and no question about that. One out.
This is the point now for Johnny where doesn't have that many skills left. Getting out of himself,
still hit
everything he can, but
still hit.
Yeah, the Indians thought they would take a chance. They had some problems in their outfield.
So here's Hanahan. Jack is 0 for 3 today. Takes first pitch strike, and hitting the road, well, you can take our White Sox with you. You'll subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every White Sox out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit WhiteSox.com. And that is into left field for Tank. Two down. So here's Diaz. 0 for 2 with a base on balls. Sox 3 innings where they scored 4. Another when they scored 2. Scored 4 in the first, 4 in the third, 4 in the seventh, and 2 in the eighth.
Just as a basic rule of thumb in the game of baseball, when you score 4 innings and 3 different runs, you're probably going to be okay that day.
1-2. Well, Indians made it a game as we talked about it. It took on another dimension.
Yeah.
One way we had to win.
No, a little too comfortable, and that's why the appearance by Matt Thornton at 2/3 of an inning was so important.
He gone, and this ball game is over. So the Sox win the opener last night 9-3. They win today 14-7. Jake Peavy picking up his 6th victory. And as the guys take the high fives, we'll be back after this.